Hello, I'm Tom from Fishing Republic. Today I'm going to take you through what I believe are essential items for a day on the river. First of all, vitally important, obviously we've got the rod. This particular one, 10 foot in length, weighted for a 3. It's ideal for dry fly fishing and river nymphing, French nymphing, that kind of style of fishing. To go with that, obviously we need a reel that will balance that rod. This is a little nymph version. On here I've got a Rio Euro nymph line, which is really thin and supple, perfect for French nymphing method. Next, you're going to need some tippet. Obviously this comes in various sizes. This particular one is fluorocarbon. I like this because it's got a little bit of stretch in it. So if you do get quite a good take from a fish, it's not just going to snap you straight off. I've also got this on a tippet holder, which is quite handy. You can attach it to a vest or your top. Just keeps your tippet out of the way, keeps it all neat and tidy, prevents you from losing it. Something else that I always carry with me as well, debarbing pliers. I generally do use barbless hooks, but every now and again you get a hook with a barb on it. A lot of fisheries, including this one that we're at today on the River Derwent, does actually require that you use barbless hooks and a catch and release policy. So we want to eliminate any damage to the fish. Debarbing pliers, great handy little tool. As well as that, another product which I believe is essential. This one's called a Monomaster. You can attach it to your vest. Basically, if you've got any tippet that you want to discard, you pop it into the gap, but eventually it winds all that up, gets your tippet out of the way, prevents you from leaving it on the bank, endangering birds, etc. At the end of the day, you simply pop it open, pair of scissors, cut it all off and discard it. So relatively environmentally friendly. I think this is an essential kit that everyone should carry. Do our bit for the environment. Tapered leaders. Not particularly going to be using these today due to the conditions we've got. There is the odd fly hatching at the moment, but because we're going to be targeting grayling today, obviously you can catch grayling on a dry fly. Predominantly are the bottom feeding fish, but during the dry fly season, tapered leaders helps you get the fly over properly. It gives you a nice presentation when you're fishing the dry fly. Another thing I find essential, again, we're not fishing dry flies today. Now this is a mud tippet line degreaser, so if you are fishing dry flies, rub this onto your tippet. It helps to sink the line. It takes any shine off it and helps to prevent drag on the surface, which can put fish off from taking your fly. But the purpose I'll use this for today is purely just to take a bit of shine off my line for when I'm running my nymphs through the water. It just helps to disguise the line a little bit there. So I think everyone should carry that whenever they go out. Here we have powdered floatant, really light, fine powder, perfect for CDC dry flies, will work on general flies as well, but I always carry a tub of this around with me. You can get brush-on versions as well, which some people prefer, but in windy conditions, as you can see, there's not a lot of wind today, but it does blow about quite a bit. Some people do prefer to use gel type floatants. As you can see, this one is in a bottle holder, which is a handy little tool to have. Again, you can attach this to a vest, chest pack, backpack, whichever you prefer. It just keeps everything in place, and it's there ready for when you need it. You can squirt a little bit out relatively easy and prevent you from losing it. So essential, handy little tool there. Sink gel, probably not going to be using that much today, if at all, but these are quite handy for those tough, hard to sink wet flies, maybe something with a bit of marrowboo in it. just coat a little bit onto it, and it just helps to break the surface tension of the water. So now and again I'll use these on the river, but not all the time. Here we have knee and shin protectors. Now the derwent behind me isn't particularly rocky, but when landing a fish and handling it and trying to release it, sometimes you do need to kneel down. If you've got a pair of waders on, the last thing you want is to put a hole in them. So these just to help, you know, protect your knees, protect your waders, and protect your shins. I always carry these around with me when I'm out fishing, just in case I need to use them. Here we've got tippet rings. These are for when I'm using like a French nymph method. I put one of these on and I can easily attach the rest of my tippet from there. Can be a little bit fiddly because they are quite small, but again, handy little accessory to have. This one here, a little bit of a crossover actually from sort of the coarse and carp area. The rig winder boxes basically. Especially in a competition scenario, I like to save time. So while I'm at home, a bit of time to spare, I'll just make some tippet rigs up. You can pin them down. If I get snapped off, or you know, I get caught on the bottom, lose my flies, break my tippet, pop one of these out, unpin it, and I'm good to go again. It's a good time saving tip there. Right, next on to fly boxes. Obviously there is all shapes and sizes. This is quite a little handy one. I've put my spiders in this and sort of little F-fly, dry flies on the other side. Neat little tidy box. It's also waterproof, which is fantastic for when you're on the river, because you tend to be, you know, sometimes you can be wading up to here. Again, another box. This is a larger one, swing leaf version. I think this one will hold 200 flies. Again, it's waterproof. It will fit inside my vest pack, so you know it's perfectly carryable. Different one again. This is got a tacky inside. It's a tacky box with the Orvis branding. You can have your like big bugs on one side and nymphs on the other. Handy little box. Unfortunately not waterproof, but you know, fantastic box, great design. You can see I've got a lot of flies in there. In terms of health and safety, as you can see, I'm wearing a hat. The last thing you want is a hook in the back of your head or in your ears. Believe me, it's painful, I've done it. Every angler should have some of these sunglasses. They protect your eyes. They also, because they are polarized, they help to cut the shine off the water, so you can see, you can penetrate into the water, see any fish, see what's moving about. Really, really important that you wear these when you're fishing, because you do not want a hook in your eye. Sight's obviously very important. There's varying coloured lenses. Here we've got a blue mirror. This particular one's an amber. This one's a green mirror over an amber lens, all for different light conditions. Generally, like your amber and your yellow are more for low light conditions. Blue is great for sort of blue water sea, but I wear these quite a lot, regardless of the conditions. Again, the same with the green mirror. Here we've got a buff. This is a UV buff, so it's UV protective. I wear this around the neck, helps with keep me warm in the winter. As well, it's quite handy. I can sort of clean my glasses with it, wipe a bit of sweat away if you're hot in the summer. So, handy little thing to have. Also use them as, this particular one's not a very camouflage version, but you can use them as like almost like a balaclava, make all different shapes, bandana, neck scarf. So great little thing to have. Here we've got, this is some protective lip balm. Now I know we're getting towards winter now, but UV can still be high. Chapped lips in cold weather. I always carry this around just in case. Protect your nose, lips from the sun. Always carry that with me. Again, important to stay hydrated when you're out. Carry a flask with you, put some water in it. You can get very hot, you lose a lot of water whilst you're fishing due to perspiration, so important to keep hydrated. Again, chocolate bar, give you some energy if you require it. I always carry my mobile phone with me. This particular one is water resistant, thankfully, as I have taken a swim quite a few times. But yeah, just in case of emergency, people can get hold of it, you can get hold of them. So please carry a mobile phone. It's important to stay safe when you're on the water. Last but not least is the net. Obviously we all go fishing to catch fish. This particular net floats. It's classed as a catch and release net. Really handy tool. Catch your fish, leave it in the water. It never needs to leave the water. You can unhook the fish and simply dip the net, let it swim away. There are obviously other designs available. I just favour this one because it's a great little catch and release item. Well, thank you for watching my little presentation today. I hope I've taken you through what I believe are essential items for a day on the river. Most of these items and more are available at Fishing Republic. You can go online, visit our website, which is www.fishingrepublic.net. Thanks for watching, and tight lines.